of the things like we want to talk about here is obviously things that like equipment and stuff that you might want to consider having available for your child. I remember when I played my first season, we went to Kmart and bought some shoes. So I was like ice skating, up and down the court for my first season or so. They were terrible, right? And I think shoes are definitely a critical point. I think nowadays the good news here that you can get really reasonable shoes from $100 to $150, I think, without breaking the bank. But again, sometimes you see kids sent out there with like school shoes
Mm.
or runners, okay, and old runners at that, okay, and it doesn't really do them any good there. They again, it's like sending a kid out there ice skating with normal shoes. Can't do it, So I think shoes are it's definitely a critical point of equipment. And the good news here is that there's not too much equipment you do need in basketball. You get your shoes, you get your basketball, even a $10 ball will probably do your trick for you. And hey, you want to spend a bit more, get that basketball ring in the driveway, and I think you're set. I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to add there?
Well, there's obviously local parks as well. They're a lot better at having a pop-up basketball ring, so you don't need necessarily to have one of you at your home. And you can also get the courts. You can usually get the lining and practice things there. I mean, it's kind of funny. You're the one with more dependence than I am, but I put all the protective gear in because I was a big fan of that. Maybe for the accessory side, but the practicality. So
Were you
knee
wearing that?
pads.
Were you wearing that when you were like in 12, 13?
No, no. I had nothing. I was, pale skin out on the court. I think, for me, especially juniors, and I've refed a lot of juniors, coached some juniors. Your kids will dive on the ground, and look, they're tough. They'll get over it, etc. But some knee pads actually go a long way. If you skid on the floor, you get a good burn. And some knee pads will buffer that, and give you the illusion of some compression. So that's not too bad. Mouth guard, you're talking to a gentleman who actually had front tooth knocked in just from an errant elbow. And they're always freak accidents when those occur. And you see a lot of players not wear mouth guards. Steph Curry might be popularizing that a bit, but maybe for the wrong reasons because he's chewing on it more than he's wearing it. But, dental work's quite expensive, and a mouth guard, you can get cheap ones for like $20 and do the gel. You can get customs for 150, 200. It's just, you can get hit in the mouth, right? Because people, you'll bring the ball up around, your shoulder sometimes for drives. You'll be shooting and people will contest, they're freak accidents when they occur, but it is a cheap entry point. And then the last one I put down was goggles. You see a lot of kids, even some adults, they'll have glasses, prescriptive glasses, and they get knocked off. And if those get damaged, their lenses that are $200, their frames that need to be fixed. And they're also probably uncomfortable to play basketball in glasses. So I'm not sure how much goggles are, but I think if you're serious about it, if your kid's serious about it, that's fair to them
Yep.
because they do need that vision on the court, but they also deserve some comfort and some security because it is definitely not ideal.
I used to play basketball with glasses. I used to wear glasses. I used to play basketball with glasses, and yeah, it was a huge pain. And I'm going to take you one step further here. Goggles are great if you're number one fan of Horace Grant, yeah, but get your kids onto contacts. Okay, obviously,
Yeah, that too.
my kids were obviously wearing contacts, probably from about 14. Okay, and I've seen kids obviously start to learn how to be able to manage that in early years of high school. So if they can learn the technique and the safer care of contacts and being able to take them in and out without too much issues, even if it's just dailies that they just wear on the weekend for their games. Okay, I think that's probably even a step better than goggles. In that sort of sense. In regards to eyewear. But you're absolutely right. It's funny because it is important to be able to see, right? I've had players before sort of go, oh yeah, look, I don't want to wear my glasses because they might fall off or get broken. And you go, okay, but what's the score? And they'll be like, I don't know, are we winning? I can't see the scoreboard at the other end of the court. So I think that's definitely, being having all your sort of, I guess what you're all your assets out there on the floor is definitely important for you to be able to succeed at basketball, I think so.